Hello everyone, welcome to Fablehaven Age of Wonders. For Fire Lord Ragnaros has unleashed the Firelands upon Azeroth and claimed his victory. So it is time for another playthrough. I asked, and you answered in the repeat of good character options. The victor in a relatively close match was none other than the keeper of the Flame Seeker prophecies, the protector of the forgotten, foe of the Lich Lord, and downfall of the Titans, the Crystal Queen, Glent. We're returning to the Reavers. If I had a nickel for every time I played a Reavers Seals game, I've had 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it's happened twice. So yes, I am going to be a masochist, and we are going to be playing with the seals. Not active, dormant. The way this works is there are dormant seals all over the world, and they are protected by an independent army. Our goal is to bonk that army, take control of the seals, and then accumulate points over time. This does put a timer on the campaign, and can lead to some very stressful and hopefully amusing situations. But who is Glent in her many titles? Glent is the dragon, a dragon, from Guild Wars, which is an MMO that released in 2005, 20 years ago. It was April, so quite literally almost 2 decades ago to the day. I absolutely love that game, and I have a lot of rants to be going on. Don't you worry. But let's set up the realm, shall we? So it's going to be a land realm. We're going to be in the realm of the gods. Now, the realm of the gods is within the mists, which is kind of like the in-between of all worlds, and honestly, they're all very different and separated, so it's kind of hard to put them all on one map. But the Realm of the Gods is going to be the blank slate that we're in today. And we're going to have a whole lot of modifiers, except no climate, no presence, and no inhabitants, because there's too many inhabitants to just slap one in there. So we're going to go with the Dormant World Seals. That is going to be our victory condition. Then we're going to add Crystalline Abundance, because, of course, there's nothing but magic and the building blocks of reality all around us. There has to be a bunch of mana. Warping Wilds. This is going to change any unclaimed province every so often, because this realm is made of, like, quite literally pure magic, and it's a little unstable at the moment. I wonder who did that. We're going to go with Wondrous Pass, because this place is quite literally a wonder. We are not going to include any of the happenings, but we'll turn the intensity up to maximum, so yes, we'll turn the intensity up to maximum, so, you know, whatever happens, happens. We will put in the Crystal Dwelling, because, again, we're on, like, in between all the realms, just in one particular part. So it doesn't, anything can show up here, which is why we won't be changing the types of races or whatever. Guild Wars was very restricted the first game, in, like, the amount of races that there were. There were not very many. But, here, on the edge of reality, who knows what could show up. We could turn off some Free City stuff as well, but that's fine. We'll let them do their thing. We are also going to go with no respite. So I've never used this one before, but the way this works is that if you are outside of your own domain, you have a -5 fewer hit point regeneration per turn. I think, didn't this used to just completely cancel regeneration? Which is, of course, unbearable. But, again, the realm's unstable. It hurts us to be beyond our secure territory. We're also going to go with Unbound Tomes, so that tomes will have no affinity requirement. This can be very important for my build, but we'll explain it as we get into the creation of characters. And last but not least, we're using all 8 slots. We're going to go with Immortals. So all non-ruler units gain Immortal, making it so that when they reach 10% HP or lower, they immediately rout, and routed units are never lost. Of course, unless you lose the battle, in which case, GG. I've used this once before in the Olve campaign, and my thinking back then is very similar to what it is now. We're in the realm of the gods. They have, control here. So if they don't want their units to die, they're not going to die. I'm also kind of hoping that it helps out the AI. Just a little bit. So we will Yeah, we're going to leave all that on. We're going to keep all of the victory conditions on. We'll have slow. Don't worry. We're not going to get to score victory. Someone is going to claim seals. Hopefully it's me. Before any score victory comes into play. Now, I am going to leave allied victory on, but there's a little bit of an asterisk here. I have to be the one to win the seal. I can't have an ally win with seals. It has to be me. So if someone that we're allied with is winning, they have more ticket points than me, I need to either sabotage them or just straight up go to war with them to, take over their place. We'll leave normal, default, easy, sure. Why not? I'm going to need that easy start. All right. So, why does this look different? Okay. Brutal. Is that going to change anything here? No, please don't. Go.
Your journey
So,
starts here.
where do we even begin with this? Glint, the Crystal Queen, is invading the realm of the gods. And I might say, but I thought you said she was a good character. She is. She and her Forgotten, which are serpent kin, are the creations of the gods. They were added to the world. They were the first creatures there, basically, to sculpt and guide the world of Tyria to prosperity. And Glint has done that all this time. But now, following the events of the first Guild Wars, the realm has become a little... Magic has detached from the world, and it is beginning to die. And so in order to release the magic, we're going to go claim the seals in the realm of the gods, and that will be fulfilling our duty of protecting the realm, even though it is going against the will of the gods. So we're going to go with Keen-Sighted for accuracy on physical range and magical attack, and we're going to go with Light-Footed. I've never done this one before, but friendly units do not block movement, and we are going to be hardy. Sharp Eyes? Hardy. Sharp Eyes? Toby Sharp Eyes? Sure.
What is their origin culture?
The Forgotten were more of spellcasters. They were. Reaver doesn't make the most sense for them. However, there was a subsect of dwarves called the Brotherhood of the Dragon that were loyal to Glint. So my thinking with this choice was the Forgotten learned the tricks of the industrious dwarves who were making... I don't think guns were in the original Guild Wars, but they were in Guild Wars 2. So, someone was making them along the way. So they learned tricks from the dwarves, and they're using that because in the realm of the gods, we're going to need a little bit of a trick up our sleeve to make it happen. The Forgotten were guardians, keepers of knowledge, and used that to help out the mortals who eventually came to them to prevent the Flameseeker prophecies. Which are end of the world, nothing casual. As we're going to have Keepers of Knowledge, this is a really fun trait that has been nerfed. Unlocking a new research skill grants +1 allegiance with all free cities to whom you have an assigned Whispering Stone, and unlocking a new tome grants +1 relations with all empires. Gain +10 knowledge income for each empire you have open borders with, and +10 alignment. We also begin with the All-Seeing bonus from the Shadow Tree, which is all well and fun. We're also going to be going with Runesmiths. They were legendary smiths. Well, they weren't really smiths, but they wove magic a lot. As mentioned, they were very heavily magic. I think they were almost... The Forgotten units were all caster classes, I believe. So, unit enchantment research is 40% cheaper to unlock, and unit enchantment upkeep is 30% less. This will be very important.
Choose your first
because for our magic, the Forgotten were linked to the facets of the gods, which were kind of like these ethereal dragons that embodied one particular element. Destruction, chaos, light, nature, so on and so forth. So we are going to have a basis in Astral because Glint was a prophet, and Astral kind of makes sense with that. But then we're going to be going Rainbow. I haven't done a Rainbow build in a long time, which basically means we'll be grabbing tomes all over the place to best suit the enchantment, the power that we can wield through the facets that the Forgotten are linked to. That makes sense. And we're going to start with the Tome of Warding. This will be a well and fun. Are these tier 1? They are tier 1, huh? The Reaver culture doesn't have access to shield units. So I was thinking about doing this. I'm now not thinking about doing it, but I think we will. Like I said, we don't use this very often, so we'll grab that. And of course, Glint is a dragon lord. So allow me to craft the Crystal Queen, who's already looking pretty crystally. So here is my Crystal Queen, Glint. Now bear with me for a moment. I originally said she was going to be a mage, but as I was building the character, I realized she'd be very similar to Shalasa. And so, to differentiate her, I went and looked up what her combat monster abilities actually were, and Death Knight actually fits her. As long as we ignore all of the summoning aspects of Death Knight. Like, she cursed people, she cleansed herself, and she hit you really hard. So, it kind of all fits together, I think. I'm perfectly satisfied with this creation of our warrior Glint. And then for the Forgotten themselves, they were Snake people that stood upright, so we are going to go for the Naga transformation. There is a mod that lets you start with the major transformation, and that would actually work, really well for this playthrough, but I'm stubborn and not going to use it. But they had 4 arms. They were really cool. And as mentioned, they were primarily spellcasters, but we're leading into some alternative possibilities for this playthrough, as always. So, the only lore from Guild Wars 2 that I'm using is the title Crystal Queen for Glint. And the reason she got that title is, of course, she is kind of like made of crystals, but she also resided in the Crystal Desert inside of a singular grain of sand, which is kind of impressive, honestly. I didn't think about the title for her, or the thrones today. You want to know how uncommon dragons were in Guild Wars 1? She hung out in the dragon's lair. Alright, sure, let's go with it. As for her ambition... Oh my. I never think about this, do I? You know what? Let's go with Explorer. She's been sealed... Well, she, willfully hanging out in a singular grain of sand for who knows how long. 1,500 years or something. So, she's going to explore the realm of the gods now that she is here. She never was in the realm of the gods. She was sent to Tyria by the gods. She herself is impossible to explain with a singular AI personality, but if I had to pick one, we'll go Erudite Sage. Sure. Without further ado, let the invasion for the greater good of the realm of the gods begin. Welcome to the realm of the gods. This is going to be quite fun. We begin with, what do we got? Mark of Invulnerability and the Suppressing Barrage. Okay. Not too shabby. The Reavers like it when people can't really approach on them immediately, so being able to slow them down is all well and good. Now I'm going to do something special for this playthrough. Glint was functionally a guide for the player character at the end of the first game. So I thought that I would slow down a little bit and explain my thinking and my decision making for, expansion, character creation. Hopefully, people will enjoy that. I've gotten a few requests about, questions like why I do certain things, so I figured it was time that I finally just share it. I'm going to start things off. Well, first of all, we have a unique, this is a mana node. Our mana node also provides us with production. Isn't that neat? We're going to start with the workshop. I always start with this for bonus production, because building things faster is pretty well and good. I do enjoy rushing it. Before we build anything, let's see what our starting army looks like. We have the Overseer. This is our support unit. An exceptional support unit, actually. At one point in time, I would have considered it the best. Still might be. It's very good. The Mercenary is our Tier 1 frontliner. It's kind of like a Tier 1.5 unit with its stats are slightly better, but it does also cost a little bit more upkeep with high maintenance. We'll see how that all pans out. We got 3 of them. And we begin with our Tier 1 skirmishing unit, the Harrier, which is an okay unit. It has the cast net. Alright. The Reaver's main focus is this focused aggression. This unique attack gained range or magic attacks, plus 10% damage per stack of mark on the target. And melee attacks have a 60% chance of inflicting mark. I remember when that change was made. Not too long ago. We do have 1 scout. So because we have a relatively... an okay army, honestly. I think we'll just pump out a few observers to go have fun. Now, the observer is unique in that it is the only unit in the game that does not have an attack. You know, it's vibing. It does have this mark we can bring with it. You know, bring it with us if we would like. But, I'm going to do another thing I don't usually do, which is I'm just going to make scouts and set them on auto-explore. Usually I manually control them to try and, like, meet people, whatever. I'm just going to let them go do their own thing. We'll see how we like it. Sir Ursa Crystallion of the Frisity Oraculum greets you for the first time. Salutations, Crystal Queen of the Forgotten. We, Feline Arcanus, humbly ask you to respect Oraculum's territory and independence. Well, let me see if you're worthy of my intentions. So, fun fact, there were cat people in Guild Wars, the Char. They were the primary antagonists in the first game, and I think they reappeared in Eye of the North, right? The 4th expansion. I didn't play a lot of Eye of the North. Because, well, the story was wrapped up. Honestly. I felt like it was done. Sure, that works out. The way it worked was there was Guild Wars, and there was Guild Wars Factions, which was my favorite, by the way, the first expansion. Then Guild Wars Nightfall, which kind of like wrapped everything up with Abaddon being the big bad and you destroyed him. We're going to start with the Phantasm Warrior because shields are pretty good. And then the final Guild Wars expansion was Eye in the North. Or Eye of the North? I have the boxes. I'm sure I threw them on screen because, you know, a little bit of flex. I might just body Oraculum. Yes, the Eye of the North felt like it was just kind of its own thing. And like the main attraction of Eye of the North was the fact that you could do stuff that would carry over into Guild Wars 2. So it was like, Guild Wars is done, prepare for the future sort of a thingamajiggy. I do kind of want to go for that, but it's far away and we're maneuvering through. So, by the way, we spawned in the top right corner. If I can't find a way down, Oraculum might actually be in the way. Huh. You know, being able to blow up mountains would be pretty good. I wasn't going to get Terramancy, but, you know. We're still building the workshop. There's really no point in me doing much with that. I could use the dragon to fly over and begin expediting this progress. So I think we will. Glint has leveled up, and we have so many choices. So as I mentioned, Death Knight makes sense functionally. The name doesn't make any sense, and this little tree over here where we summon undead stuff, 0 sense whatsoever. But Glint did curse people. Glint did cleanse herself, like unyielding, and she hit you very hard. But I think we're going to start with the breath. And Comet is exceptional, but I'm going to go with the cone. It's iconic. Iconic. And we do have the Warclaw, which is the charge weapon, which is pretty good. Slow start. I might go deal with the Reclam. So as the Reavers, we have 2 FUB features that we're starting off here. We have the unique resource of War Spoils, which we get for, I believe... How do we get War Spoils? Can't remember. It'll come back to me, though. But we can use that to intimidate free cities instead of trying to give them Imperium to cooperate with us. And we do not begin with a Whispering Stone. So, that's worth noting. Now you might say, but you chose a societal trait that deals with Whispering Stones, didn't you? Yes, I did. Ask me if I remembered about that minor feature. It's fine, it'll be great. We'll work it all out. Even if I have to make my own free cities, which is, ooh, very feasible. That might be a destroyed settlements. There's a reason that the Char aren't in this campaign. The Char... I found a seal already. Oh! The Char were adherents to false gods. The Titans and the Destroyers were not real gods. They were machinations of Abaddon. Again, everything got pinned on Abaddon near the end. He is a rude boy, though. So, we'll forcibly expand here. One thing I need to get better at, and, I will consider, is just putting down another city. Right? Don't think too hard about it. Just put her down. Well, these mountains are definitely a nuisance in that. Okay, so first expansion. Farms are great. This has a pasture on it. Double the food, double the fun. I can even boost this out now. And we have boosted the vendor, but I think we want this. I should expand before this finishes so it can, retroactively boost itself. Oh, you can move. Nice. Now, unfortunately, thanks to no respite, we do have a minor complication about not dying, but Chieftain's fallen Dustracker of the Free City Ratpike greets you with flashing eyes, a big grin, and a proud stance. Strength and blood! Glory to you, Glint. We, brutal dwarfkin of Ratpike, greet you, welcome you to these lands of strife. We look forward to seeing your strength on the battlefield, be it alongside you or against you. So Ratpike here could be another decent addition to the composition. I'm quite away from getting these stones, huh? So I don't... Wait, didn't I start with a thing? Does it not give me this stone for this? Wait, I don't see it in here. Interesting. So I get the effect of it, but not the stone. Alright, that's fine. There were dwarves in Guild Wars. As... I mentioned with the League, the Brotherhood of the Dragon, but very few of them worshipped anything other than their deity, the Great Dwarf. Cleverly named, I assure you. Okay, well, I think we're going to want... I think immediately I want this city. Probably kick the Char out of it, too. Take the city... because then we can secure the seal. I'm pretty sure you cannot expand onto a sealed province. Maybe you can. I was under the impression you couldn't, but... do I know? Shockingly little. Yeah, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to grab Oraculum. And the Dragon's Lair is going to have room to expand down to here. Oraculum will be our forward base against this. And, let's keep on expanding. Violently and swiftly. A risky battle. I'm pretty sure I do this one manually. Alright, we'll do it manually. There's a lot of damage here, and I don't like that. The Overseer previously had the strongest heal in the game. Do you still do it? You still do. That's mighty impressive. Now, on the Archon Blood, when a defending unit dies, all adjacent hostile units suffer 15 spirit damage and have a 90% base chance of being condemned, which means it is incredibly likely we will be, in fact, condemned. But thanks to our Lightfoot trait, I can actually maneuver through our forces, if need be. That might have been a bit preemptive, but we'll see. We also have Ceaseless Cacophony. I mean, that looks like a breath of all time to me. So we also have this Subdue. Mentions a link with and inflict Subdue. Target must be affected by immobilized, frozen, or stunned. Now, conveniently, we do begin with this ability. So, can I subdue you? Too far. What we can do is we can move in with here. And then move forward. Oh! Silly me. Silly me. There's a reason it's not working. They're celestial. Celestial units have mind control loss immunity. So our Harrier is going to go this way. These guys are all immobilized, so they'll be vibing for a turn, and then we'll get in there and have some fun. Try to, anyhow. Position like so. We don't want them to, you know, start their turn and just start whacking on us. Like this. Can't have that. Oh, righty-tighty. We can also make somebody immune if we would like. The Tome of Warding is a very... defensive spell. Oh, yeah. Interesting. How can I abuse this? Nice, immobilized him. So because of immortality, we might be able to just hit people a little bit. And then, you know, force them out with immortality. That's going to have to go into my calculations. Okay. These are all immobile, so I'm not going to move. They can stare menacingly, watching, waiting. If I had Tail Swipe Life would be fun, but alas. This is on a cooldown now, okay? You go here. Oop. The mercenaries do have a drive back, so they can, you know, change people's positioning here. But, looks good to me. I think we saved some HP there. Oh, we can summon a spider. Okay, sure. Why not? And we leveled up. I think we're going to get a tail swipe. Tail swipe into... I'm just a huge fan of this one, defensive swipe. It's so good. How could you not be? I could plop down an outpost here. We might... because that would give me the Archon Blood really early. What do you do again? Mana is nice. This could be control over this so Rat Pike doesn't do anything crazy. Alright, sure. I talked myself into it. Summon Phantasm Warrior is in. Fantastic. Designate target. Ooh, this could be really good. Staves of Warding is also okay. Wayfinder's pretty good. We could get this early. Alright, sure, why not? And we'll grab ourselves a Phantasm Warrior. The days of Age of Wonders 3, where those were a tier 2 unit that ran absolutely ransack. Good times. Good times. Alright. So let me keep ranting about Guild Wars, shall I? We're not going to see many characters from, like, the main story in this playthrough because we are in the Realm of the Gods. So, Guild Wars had... one thing I really loved about the first game, besides just the first game, was that it had this, like, element of mysticism to it. The gods were present, but they weren't... Am I okay with this? I kind of am. I bet they mispositioned this guy, because these have charge immunity, right? Or charge resistance? Yeah, whatever. The gods were present, but they weren't like, you know, in your face, hey, a god's hanging out, just go talk to him or something. Anytime you dealt with them, it was always through avatars or something similar. So you knew they were, that you always knew they were there, but they weren't like in your face. Here you go. For our next expansion, I am interested in a logging camp. You know what we could do? I'm thinking Violent Thoughts. And it's always a good idea to annex something that has something on it, because then you profit from it. Like, we can make this an Forester and then change this later to mana or research or whatever our heart desires. So Phantasm Warrior, isn't he beautiful? He is a phantasmic creature. An ethereal creature, there's the word. Zeus plus defense, -4 spirit resist, pass through, immunity to bleeding, disease, immobilized, and poison. All well and fun. He'll just be a nice frontline for us. We can even just replace the Harrier with him to, keep moving. Search spellcasting is good, but we're going to hold on to our points because we're going to kick the Char out of the realm of the gods. Oh! A floating formation of stone faces addresses you. We greet you. The monotonous voice of Leifengor of the crystal dwelling of Shalbund resonates inside your skull. The stone-faced entity continues. Do not fear us, for we mean you no harm. We once shared your ambitions when we still ruled over formidable Merida. We are even greater now. We are the Eternal Sages. We observe, we chronicle, we preserve and collect all that the cosmos holds. The formation's faces show no emotion, yet there is a hopeful tone in its voice. Will you support our mission? The Eternal Sages seek to collaborate with you in exchange for secrets from the vaults of Shelbund. Sure. The Eternal Sages greet you from within their crystalline library in Shelbund. Welcome, Crystal Queen Glint, Leifengor hums. We predicted your interest in helping us. Curiosity and ambition define most Godir, which makes you valuable allies in our pursuit of knowledge. We chronicle and collect all there is to know of the cosmos. As we cannot leave Shalbund, you possess the power to retrieve what we cannot procure ourselves. The Eternal Sage concludes. Will you lend us your aid in this quest for wisdom? Oh, interesting. As an Elder Dragon, we can share our things. I can offer this. There you go. So I got a request to use the Litherine units from these guys. And a fun fact, sure. Why not? It kind of, sort of, can fit with our thing. Also, the Eternal Sages are not too dissimilar from the Eternal Alchemy, which is a form of, religion. It's like a religion, but it's kind of not, that the Asira, I believe that's what they're called, practice. And as the name suggests, their goal is to pursue life and its great secrets and what have you. There's just so much lore to go over. I could talk about this for quite some time. And I'm sure I'll think of things every now and again. It wouldn't hurt to grab this and then heal here and then bonk Oraculum. Which will be a very strong frontline base for us. We're going to want to make this a wall. This will be a loss for us for a while, but we might even be able to make this a city. Depending on how cray-cray we get. Anywho, into the thicket. Yeah. You enter a forest of glowing crystal formation, showing eerie reflections of you and your troops. As you keep going through the forest, memories overwhelm you. Reflections of yourself fade into visions of the past, present, and future, into memories of the good, factions, and the bad, in the north. That you have wrought. Your troops weep and wail, apologizing to their own mirror images, and the visions start to take physical form as creatures appear from the crystal maze. Your troops scramble and shout in confusion as their reflections come to life and reveal themselves to be mirror mimics. A high-risk battle. This could be frisky, team. Defeat. How about no? I'm honestly more afraid of the wisps than I am of the mirror mimics, but we'll see. I actually have some really good targets for the mirror mimic, because if the mercenaries get slapped, they're anti-large. They're just gonna beat the crap out of Glint. I haven't used these guys in a while. Maybe we should try Mirror Mimic. Exceptional. Alright, sure. That'll work. So what happened here is the Mirror Mimics chose poorly. The problem is I'm about to choose poorly. Well, am I? Maybe I'm not. We got one immobilized? Okay. So if we send in Glint here, and she does so... Did I resist? Ha! Then... we can begin our control. Our control of the situation. Bring you here. Bring you here. Now this guy is a little weak, but we'll do what we can, of course. Make sure you stay here. We could even attempt to subdue here. Wait. If I... Oh. Why can't you be afflicted with us? Ah. Oh, yeah, you're a mythic unit, aren't you? Technically. Okay. Fair enough. So be it. Well, this one's surprisingly well. Of course, let's see if I spoke too soon. Oh. Magnifique. Oh. Nice. So I spoke a little bit about why Eye of the North was my least favorite, the final one. It was really an expansion, like the gateway into Guild Wars 2 more so than, I think, an actual expansion for itself. Factions, the first expansion, was my absolute favorite, the GOAT. And the reason is we went to Cantha, which is a continent based on Asian mythos. It was really cool. Liked it a lot. But there were two warring factions, the Kurziks and the Luxons. And I don't know if this tech is just like lost or not feasible or something, but it was very focused, PvP focused. You would pick one of the factions and you would fight over it. And depending on how one faction was doing, control of the map would change. And that's so cool. Now, to be fair, the Cynic, it wasn't anything insane that changed as far as control. It's just like the way the map looked and like what was considered friendly for territory or not. It was nothing overly impressive. But I thought that was the coolest thing. I would log in before school and like check the progress of the map, and one side would be just overwhelmingly winning that, you know, went on a rampage in like the wee hours of the morning. And then by the time I got back from school, you know, people were waking up. As school people, normal schedule people, which at the time was me, weird. And then I'd come back and it was just the complete other way. It was so fun to watch and contribute to. But the ranting is on pause. Reflections Aftermath. As the ambush of the strange reflections dissipate, your troops sigh in relief. That was actually quite the good fortune of luck. They went for my support and not like anyone else. The crystal thickets pulsate with a new energy. You see a path of many forks up ahead, each one leading to freedom. The crystals shimmer and your troops smile as the new reflections show fond memories from their past. If only for a moment, they find solace and peace within the forest of the crystal. This forest of crystal. You go to take a closer look at the crystals yourself. The reflections of the crystal thicket now show fond memories of the past. You gaze into the crystal and remember. Ooh, this is new. The old friend trait? Huh. Do you want a spirit wolf? We could. Well, that's pretty neat. This is actually perfect for our... We're a bit away from getting another hero, but this might just work. I mean, a spirit wolf is a spirit. Now, tier 3 weapon, Turn 10, we get our first hero. It's perfect. Wayfinder enchantment is in. The engraving of focus gives focus aggression to our non-cultural units, which would be our shield boys, but I think we want magical wards. This is a minor racial transformation that would give us this resistance to elements. Pretty good. We have built the food, so we continue to expand. Unfortunately, I didn't clear this, but c'est la vie. We are going to want to expand, and I want more food. And I need another farm anyway. Maybe we just take this and we'll get to it soon. That moves us closer towards the hidden fountain here, so more production. The faster we can start producing more things, the better, I think. You know what? We don't need this guy. We're cutting it close on money, so we're going to need to start building the market and whatnot. We have our first magical material. It's not overly helpful, but it'll be cute. Glint has reached level 4. And I mean, defensive swipe is pretty good. I don't think I care about the rest of this. Terrifying Gorge is amusing, but it is a YOLO. So we'll take the defensive swipe and move on. This is just the cooldown reduction, so this is going to be a thing we want later. We also get to pick our signature skill. And for us, I kind of think we're going... Am I going to go Chaos here? Our main points are kind of chosen for us because of just the nature of the character that we are, but non-base attack abilities. Would this be like breath and stuff? Grant a friendly unit in 3x range temporary hit points. Challenge opportunity deal 50%. I think I'm just going Materium, too. Chaos would be good. We get, you know, the strikes and whatever. And we could also go with lightning aspect for... we'll go lightning. Let's do that. That also gives us lightning strike. So we can do a wee bit more damage. What do we got? Ritual dagger? You dare ask the Dragon Lord to bleed her own blood? Nah. Cool, so we now control this. If only this was 1 over, we could take it with this. But we're just gonna... This is gonna be mine. We'll begin the enchantments. Count Accolon tracks the free city Villenholm greets you with a wicked smile. Your so-called benevolence only makes you weak. I will prove to the people of Villenholm and everyone in this realm that there is no such thing as right and wrong, only strength and weakness. So this is a human. Humans were the primary race in Guild Wars. Were is the operative word, I think, now. But we have a primal check that we might as well roll. I suggest you reconsider, little count. And, We have primal exhaustion for 1 turn. 6 turns? Oh. You know, maybe I should have read the consequences for failing. It kind of sucks. I'm not saying we're going to wait 6 turns before we declare war, but I am saying... Svalin, Dustraker of the Ratspike, has heard of your progress in education and knowledge. Every time I hear about Dragon's Lair, I'm amazed by your newest arcane breakthrough. It seems like you are advancing by leaps and bounds, while we still crawl like newborn babes. Would you, the brilliant Crystal Queen Glint, be interested in educating my people, so that we may follow on you on this path of knowledge? Chieftain Svalin Dustraker bows. I bow before your arcane expertise, my Crystal Queen, and humbly ask for your scholars to instruct mine. Sure. Glint would say that knowledge should be shared. She would. That was the main exchange for the Brotherhood of the Dragon, in fact. Glint's ability to see the future and share knowledge with them. The air sizzles around Mana Node as two groups of mages from Oraculum hurl spells at each other. Arcanas call for a cessation of hostility as your army approaches. She glares at her opponent as one final spell strikes a tree next to her before turning and addressing you. Your time of arrival is inopportune. We are determining which of us is most capable, magically speaking, of guarding this site for Oraculum. The Arcanist glances at you as she prepares a new spell. A kindly wait for us to conclude our debate. Oh. I didn't realize. Well, all that energy dispensed, yet none spent on defending yourself. It's treason, then. Gonna hang out here. Wayfinder enchantment make these very fast. Wait, were these not already very fast? I guess they just had the flying enchantment. We are now neutral. That must have been an evil act, which is not very glint-like, but the char did basically blow up Avalon. Ascalon, excuse me. So, deserved? Maybe? New Empire skill is available. I am interested in this, but I need my Imperium, so, you know, give me a moment. We are 2 turns away from our first hero. If I can make it a skirmisher, that'd be pretty cool. Pretty neat. Our scouts are converging. So, the Guild Wars, figured I might as well talk about this, were, since I mentioned Ascalon, the humans attained supremacy. And there were 3, I can go right into this, there were 3 human kingdoms. Krita, Ascalon, and Or. That went well. And I can even recruit people, so we must have subdued this one. The Guild Wars were like conflict between humanity. And the Guild Wars were what it became organized as because people were just like literally fighting in the streets. Now this is evil. Normally, I think Glint would just like integrate the people, but the Char don't count. And to be fair, it's not like Glint just sits around and be like, oh, I'm a good character, I'm not going to do anything evil. No, if you touch her egg, she fights you. It's a literal dungeon raid boss fight situation. I need money. But we'll expand. So, we're going to need another Forester. We're going to need a gold vein as well. But we don't need that just yet. We're going to need quarries too. Can I not see this? I'm pretty sure this has been cleaned up. Glint is level 5. And I think it's fair that we begin the bonkening. Hitting very hard was a big deal. We got some remains. Now we could sell this. Which, you know, I'm into. And we meet our first friend. Greetings, Crystal Queen Glint. May wisdom guide your path in this realm. This is Melandru, the goddess of earth and nature. Melandru is the goddess of nature and earth, and eldest of the 5 gods. She was third to arrive on Tyria, called forth to mend the cataclysmic damage wrought by Balthazar's arrival. Melandru's hand wove the great forests of Echovold, and sculpted the beauty of the far Shiver peaks, and she urged peace amongst the races of the world, seeking to maintain balance with destruction. Not long after the exodus of the gods, one such destructive tribe incurred Melandru's ire. She bound them to the forest they once ravaged, letting known her first decree. I am Melandru, the mother of earth and nature. Henceforth I bind ye to these lands. When they suffer, so shall ye suffer. Melandru's stewards now fight alongside her in the increasingly unstable realm of the gods. Melandru, goddess of nature and earth, was the earth elementalist and ranger, primarily, deity. And she is our barbarian representative because her first followers were that erratic clan that basically just went from place to place, pillaging and ravaging it, and she quite literally bound them to the forest, and whenever the forest was in pain, they were in pain. So they converted very quickly to following under her. As the barbarian, they are druidic terraformers and devotees of good. Melandru was the eldest and wisest of the gods. Although not the first to arrive in the realm, another took that title. Melandru's stewards are athletic and pack tactics, so they are really fast, and they have the pack hunter ability, dealing bonus damage per friendly unit adjacent to the target. As the barbarians, it's showing 4 support units, but I assure you, I don't expect to have there for that many. She herself is a harmonious sage. She likes empires that have many alliances, likes empires that trade grievances, dislikes empires that have defeated other empires, and dislikes empires that execute prisoners. She favors treaties, wars must be justified, and she likes to explore and she likes to expand. We could very easily be friends with Melandru. In fact, I fully expect that we shall. The Sanctum of Earth is over here. Okay. Wow, I flew across the map. Oh, you're just in the middle, okay. And there's a seal right next to her capital. Okay. Okay. Now, for the names of their capitals, there's only 2 that we really know. The Underworld and the Fissure of Woe. That's kind of it. We don't know the domain names of any of the other gods. And it was never really expanded upon, because in Guild Wars 2 lore, which hurts my soul, the gods just left, which caused all sorts of problems, as one might imagine, and I'm really sad about it. Temperatures in the immediate area rise and fall intermittently as a group of elemental beings panic at your army's approach. The Snow Spirit, seemingly the leader of this group, wavers unsteadily before you. It seems aware that engaging you would result in almost certain death, but is not willing to abandon its group. You may leave. The Ring of Opportunity. Sure, we'll use some opportunity attack damage bonus. Why not? 2 turns, okay. I would like none of these. I can't really afford to be picky, but the weapon we got is for a skirmisher, which is none of these. However, I do like elitists. So maybe we grab this recruiting governor. He's a warrior as well, so he can fight alongside me. Okay. It looks pretty cool. There weren't, as far as I'm aware, there were not any named Forgotten. I'm pretty sure. So, and there's that. And I just realized I don't have to worry about any of the aristocracy shenanigans. You know, I should make sure though I get one of the conduit governors, because this is a magic realm. Do you consider me brave enough to face an Inferno Hound? Asks your hero, Virohan the Vicious. They are an honorable hunter's prey. Virohan does not wait for your reply. He speaks with a glint in his eye. Hey, Glint. This is not a creature you hunt for its meat, nor will it yield an ichor to apply as poison or medicine. This is a beast you hunt to fight. Vidohin lowers his voice and his expression turns solemn. To fight to the death. My crystal queen, an inferno hound made his nest nearby. Permit me to find the beast and kill it, or be killed. Oh, hey, another one of these tranquility pools, sure. Why not? We have a summon ready. Now, of course, we have the lizard mounts just for now. For one turn, huh? Sure. You want a spider one too? Why not? Eventually, the Forgotten shall return to their Naga-like forms. Eventually. I would like designate target. What if we move on to the next tier? Sooner rather than later. It's usually not worth queuing things up. This will be ours next turn, and it needs a wall as soon as possible. Why do you look weird? Hail, Crystal Queen Glint. Allow me to introduce myself. I am the goddess of life and air, Dwayna. Many Gaudia make war. I aim to make peace. Am I really going to give you the last of my 50 gold? This is Dwayna, who leads Dwayna's charge. And she is the first of the 5 gods to step forth from the mists. Dwayna is the goddess of life and air that brought humanity to Tyria. When the gift of magic drove the sentient races to endless war, it was she who heard the pleas of humanity's first king and brought his audience to her fellow gods. To the prostrated man, she gave her first decree as goddess that all her charge now follow. Offer protection to the weak. Give solace and shelter to those who need it. Be ye a salve to the wounded. All who follow in her footsteps receive her blessing, and the most righteous of souls have made their way to the haven of hope, deep within the mists. So Dwayna is the first god that came to Tyria, and she is the deity of monks, which are the healers in Guild Wars, air elementals, lightning dervishes, and some sort of paragon. She is the classical goddess of life, supreme goody two-shoe character. So she had to have the high culture. They are devotees of good and chosen uniters. I could have used this Whispering Stone. And they're also athletic and keen-sighted. Keen-sighted, of course, is a great attribute for the high culture. And I went with athletics because they're air. She's fast, you know? She's not like the strong athletics, she's the fast athletics. I didn't like repeating traits, but eventually, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. Ah, good old Dwayna. She is very attractive under this giant text bubble. Also, she has the wings from the mod, Age of Fashion. But they kind of look paralyzed, don't they? I hope they're not. She herself is a chivalrous diplomat. She likes empires that have many alliances. She likes empires with good relations with free cities. She dislikes empires that break treaties, and she dislikes empires that start wars. Her strategy is to form alliances, to never break treaties, to explore, and to expand. My last of my money will go to her. Look at her, isn't she beautiful? It was really hard making some of the gods, because there's concept art for them. There's the statues that were in-game, which are all broken, decrepit, and not very detailed. And then there's a mural in one of the zones that is okay. So all of them kind of like became an amalgamation of all 3 of those things. So what do we got? We have a farm on a pasture. Fantastic. And we have a conduit. On a minute. We'll switch that to a forester just for boosting, and we'll most likely end up switching it back later. Bonk. Cleanly, fantastic. I don't have a forge yet, but we can melt that down. Strength pool acquired. All we need is an astral duel, and we'll already have the Cosmoflux elixir. Isn't that nice? Virohan. Now we are going to want foraging training on everybody. You know what? Wait, where? Wait. Whoa, 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 whoa. What's happening here? Why are you losing health? Why am I neutral? I did migrate a city. But they were Char. They deserved it. Of course, if you didn't play the first Guild Wars early on, you may not agree with that. But trust me, they blew up Ascalon. And, wow, we're meeting all of them. Here is Lissa. Greetings, Crystal Queen Glint. May wisdom guide your path in this realm. She leads Lissa's Watchers, and she herself is the twin goddess Lissa. Eternally entwined Liss and Ilia is the goddess of beauty and illusion. Unlike her kin of grand ambition, Lissa spent most of her early days hidden amongst humanity, searching for those of truest sight. In the village of Ren, she found one such human, and gave unto Sarah her blessing and command. True beauty is measured not by appearance, but by actions and deeds. Many have eyes, but few have seen. Of all here, you saw the beauty behind the illusion, and you alone shall be blessed with my gifts. Following the construction of Ahar, and later the Exodus, the twin goddess moved with her fellow gods, forever welcoming those who could see the world's true beauty. Lissa was the patron deity of mesmers and assassins, and also the goddess we know the absolute least about, so I had a really hard time writing that description. But she leads Lissa's Watchers, who are the mystic attunement culture. The mesmers were basically illusionists that also had insane damage over time effects. They were really fun to play. I liked them a lot. Mystic attunement of powerful evokers and gifted casters that are adaptable, keen-sighted, and arcane focused. So they have all the good magic traits. She herself is a pure sage. She likes empires with a weaker military. She likes empires with good relations with free shitties. She dislikes empires that break treaties, and she dislikes empires with a stronger economy. Her strategy is to favor treaties. Wars must be justified. She likes to explore, and she likes to expand. She's probably pretty mad that I... Oh, she's just vigilant. Okay. I said that I migrated a city. But, yeah. Why is this happening? What? 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 We're not broke. I don't know why we're bleeding. Am I just bleeding within this thing's radius? No. That was a tier 3, though. I never figured out the one-of inversion is no longer bugged. After a fierce battle, Virohan the Vicious, I like saying his name, have cleared the nests of the Inferno Hound. Built from crude materials, the small monster den housed not only the Inferno Hound, but offered shelter for more creatures. The den is littered with small treasures, all that remains of less fortunate challengers. While your troops collect the discarded coins, a faint warble catches their attention. Underneath some rubble, they find a reinforced plate and a young orphan hunter spider that immediately scurries off. Virohan the Vicious is invigorated by the ordeal. Yours is the gold. What shall you do with the remains of the small monster den? What shall we do indeed? Learns inspiring presence. Huh. Sure. Bask in the glory of your victory, Virohan the Vicious. Why not? I guess we're just taking damage inside of the monster thing, which is weird. We can go ahead and get the Ring of Endurance to you. I believe it's more likely we'll flank with Glint because she can fly. So Virohan has obtained the foraging training. Shall we also just grab Experience Leader for him? Why not? Glint is level 6. And at level 6... I think I'm just going to go do fighty stuff. I think I want to do this fighty tree here, and then I want to do this to get her curse, and then... we do the fighty stuff, go down here, and then go here, and then run down a bit. So we got Frenzy. Told you, she hits hard. It is time for our second Tier 1 tome. Now, here there are a lot of choices. A great many choices, in fact. One could even say, too many choices. I think, though, I'm gonna grab Tome of Rock. I debated doing Discipline. But you know, I might still do Discipline. I'm sure there was an aspect. To be fair, there are like 8 or 12 facets in the game, and their description still says there are more facets that are just not seen. So, this is what it is.
True strength resides in self-discipline. Mastering oneself leads to mastery over all things. Meditate. Be grounded. Cast off the shackles of arrogance and pain that burden the soul. Find inner focus and hone the greatest weapon that can never be taken. The power from within.
I mean, monks are pretty good. Like I said, the same thing with the Phantasm Warrior. The Reaver culture just doesn't really have good frontline. So if we can get good frontline, seems good to me. We gotta go this way. Hey look, we can level renown. Wow, we are renowning quickly. Whereas you are not. Well, you kind of are, okay. As a dragon governor, each mine grants you stability. Oh, nice. And then each pop grants gold. And then 10% more gold. So I guess we're going to want to be gold in our capital city, which is fine. We can make this city our main drafting city since he's a drafting governor. And I migrated this. So it can fulfill that duty. A bounty has been posted by Lissa. Does that mean you're close to me? Or is this someone else? Where is Lissa? Okay, so there's Dwayna's Haven. There's Melanger's Sanctum. This must be Lissa. Now, I don't know if it was a mistake. Oh, Belanger must be my friends. Sure. Oh, wait, I can do both now? So the Reaver culture has the Declaration of Supremacy, which is basically we declare supremacy over another ruler, and we get war spoils. Or excuse me, it costs war spoils, and we... How does this work? A modifier that slowly increases towards 300 will be added to your relation with the ruler. While the supremacy lasts, the opposing player will not have any grudge affecting the relation for any of their grievances. Maintaining a declaration costs 5 war spoils upkeep per turn, which increases by 5 war spoils for each additional declaration. Huh. So back when Reavers came out, they could not declare friendship. Maybe it's because she declared friendship first? Oh no, we could declare it again. Now, I don't know if Glint would dare declare supremacy over any of the gods. Is this Gloom? No? This looks like Gloom to me, team. Maybe this is Desolate? I shall permit the Razorback to leave. You may go. Be gone. Oh! I should not be disintegrating these. I'm a dragon. Okay, like, you can't get the seal, got it. But we can get the Crystal Thicket, which gives us +2 mana per conduit, and Imperium income, and mana income. Isn't that nice? We can cast the magical wards upon our Forgotten, granting +2 lightning resistance, +2 fire resistance, and +2 frost resistance. Isn't that nice? Adaptive Research Roads! Nice. I do also want Adaptive Research. We'll grab that. So it's time to start thinking about our third city. And it might be Ratpike. I think what I want to do with Ratpike is I want to control this. Ooh, you've done pretty well. I want to control Ratpike's growth to keep it away from this. To have my city come down and then grab all this. The war party. Okay. Back to being good. Isn't that nice? Just forget about me killing the Char. It's fine. I don't think the Char could make it into the Mists anyway. They didn't have a way in. I have failed the bounty. But it's not because I failed the bounty. Roads. Yes. Glorious roads. Alright, we're tier 2, which means we can get the most important unit of our culture. But I'm broke, which means I can't. Always a minor complication. Knowledge Extraction and the Call of Chaos. Both could be good. Is this? Look at that. It is a Clay Defender. Okay. Our two enemies are kind of hanging out at the moment. Just vibing. Having a great time. There is tumult near your hoard. This is what I forgot about, the hoard. Where you store your most precious treasures. One of your guards brings a woman of the reptilian stargazers in front of you. Why are you wearing the same hat as my... Why are you emitting smoke? Oh, living shadows. Interesting. We found this thief trying to steal the pistol and sword from your hoard. I didn't even know I had this. The guard explains. The thief looks up at you with fear in her eyes. She realizes how sacred a thing the hoard of a dragon is, and how wrathful dragons are known to be. Having entered your vault, she needs to be punished. Your guard catches your attention by speaking up. Mighty Crystal Queen, what are we to do with this thief? Well... Exile her. 69. Nice. Alright, we'll clear up our back domain. And then we'll be able to move forward without having to look behind. It's kind of the plan. Now, I think for these dwarves, we do an army. We declare war, take them, release them. Take them over and like control this, and then eventually aim to release them, I think is how we want to do this. I think. Okay, you're getting walls going. Fantastic. Did I never cast this? More vision. Do we have a use for this yet? But don't worry, we will find uses for it. Okay. So we're going to like circle around here, and then we're going to take this on. I have to get rid of this quickly. There's already an ironclad here. The Eternal Sages contact you from within their crystalline library in Shelbund. Greetings, Crystal Queen Glint, Leifanger hums. It has been some time since we last communed. As you are aware, we scour the realm for knowledge. We seek to chronicle and preserve all lore held by the cosmos. We surmise you would be interested in aiding our cause. Naturally, we will reward you for your endeavors. Since we cannot leave Shelbund, we appreciate your capacity for retrieving what we cannot procure ourselves. The Eternal Sages conclude. Kindly consider aiding us in a quest for knowledge. We have discovered the location of a relic long thought lost. The shifting stardust is located in a small mountain south of Dragon's Lair. They say to you in a monotonous voice. We wish to study the shifting stardust and store it within our vast crystalline libraries. However, the small mountain is not without defenders, thus complicating the retrieval of the shifting stardust. Sure, I'm here anyway. Sure, it's nice when it works out that way. Because it's not frequently. Ooh, I subdued him. You know what, we'll take it with us. This Butcher Ogre will contribute to our victory. In a small way. The monk is in. The magic purification is like the best spell in the game. It's the best starting spell, basically. Your actions speak for your wisdom, Glint. I am glad to see our fates entwining. Alright, Melandru. Let us make some pacts. Now again, it is perfectly fine that I am allying myself with Melandru. However, if a day were to come where Melandru... See the Imperium rolling. Where Melandru started winning the Seals race, I would have to, again, either sabotage her efforts somehow or break our alliance and take it over. Magistrate Alwyn, Lightbringer, the Free City Goldspire, greets you with some reverence. Salutations, Crystal Queen Glint. Your reputation precedes you. It gives us hope to meet a Crystal Queen who shares our beliefs. We look forward to learning from you, and we trust you will respect Goldspire's territory and independence. Perhaps I shall. Also, I'm glad that, Nice. I'm glad that my end turn was cancelled, because I need to pick up the Litherine Scroll. This is a relic that will give us affinities. All affinities, in fact. I didn't change the happening intensity to high. It's on normal, I think. Well, that's that. Whoopsies. These guys ward, like Link, right? Yeah. Their whole shtick is this volatile charge thing, where after 2 turns... Yeah, after 2 turns it explodes, dealing 8 physical damage and 8 lightning damage to the target and adjacent friendly units. They're friendly units. So I might see if I can make use of it. It doesn't really fit into my game plan, but thematically, you know, it's... We can think about it. I'm pretty sure they have a gold upkeep, though, so I didn't want to buy any, because, you know, I'm a little broke at the moment. We can get some gold nodes around here. I don't know if I actually can expand on this, so let's hop into it and find out. Bring you with me. Road Gore. Road Gore. So you come... Oh, well, sure. Kind of bring the Butcher with me, too. We need 1 Spearman, right? Right? After traveling some distance in the hot midday sun, you head toward a wellspring, expecting refreshment. Despite the heat of the day, the wellspring is frozen solid. Upon its surface sits a family of ducks frozen in ice. A woman crowned in glittering icicles glides closer over the frozen waters. Ice spreads from beneath her icy bare feet. She gingerly caresses the frozen animals before her head snaps toward you. Warm blood disturbs my tranquil lake. She smiles coldly as ice creatures rise from the pristine snow. Come, embrace the White Witch and be preserved. Alright. Ooh, a level 4. Wow, crushed. As the sun melts the last of the ice, the sound of quacking returns to the spring. The White Witch fades, her voice a faint, cool breeze. I am but a remnant of the queen who once ruled here. She raided the warm lands, preserving all life in ice. Frozen markers lead to her treasure vaults, but now they melt. You notice in the last traces of ice there is some kind of map detailing the hiding place of a lost treasure. No time to delay. My secrets melt away. The fast-melting simples are nearly gone. Oh, interesting. That's a Shatterblade. Well, money. Money good. Okay, can I expand to this? No. Okay. Let's grab the tavern for stability. And we want the most important unit of our culture, the Mage Lock. We're going to want a number of those. Oraculum can expand. Now, it has 1 farm, 1 forester, 1 can do it. It's going to need more farms. Is there an ideal farm for you to have? Going this way could be cool. Could be. What about, but it's not a farm. Just plop one down. On this. I do need gold, so we'll grab it here. Bonus production would have been good from the quarry here, but we need gold. Master Masons. Oh, hey, we can get a stone here. So I could, I suppose, do this the old-fashioned way. I am busy. Oh, I can boost allegiance too. So, I can intimidate them, which will immediately reach the next relation state with them. But allegiance changes through negotiations will be locked. Just like instead of using a stone. Oh, hey Lissa. Lissa, you're a little close to my domain. Uh-oh. You're gonna have fisticuffs, dude. I suspect this is not gonna go well. Okay, you need to take your own army back. You may flee, creature of the wild. After all, you're not a part of my plan. Really. So the dragons have the dragon horde mechanic. And each item within our inventory, this is kind of vibing here, gives gold. Which is why I should not have melted those things that I did. Virrohan is a level 4, granting him the first initiate. And of course, anything can be. We can be the initiative of anything. What shall we be? Probably Astral. Probably Astral. And now what shall we do? You know what we could do? We could do something really funny. Alright, sure. So I'm gonna go Berserker, and I'm gonna like go through the middle of the map. The tree. I think someone talked about this in the Discord a long time ago, but Dwayna would like a wizard's bond. done. Why do I have a feeling that I'm going to be at war with Lissa? Lissa might be our first war targets. And you know what the funniest thing is? If you fought against Mesmers, you would probably understand. Seer Diadem, a Mystery of the Free City Manafront, greets you with a sage, vaguely insufferable expression. Goats. There weren't really any goats in Guild Wars. Salutations, Glint. The arcane goats of Manafront extend a hopeful wish of mutual neutrality. Our diviners foretold of your presence in these lands. We seek only to further our understanding of the arcane arts and remain amenable to fostering a mutually beneficial relationship with your mighty empire. If we cannot, we hope that we can at least stay out of each other's way. So we... Ooh, you're about to be... Alright. I mean, we can put this here in for now, I guess. Ooh. Okay. Here's a character I wish I had better ways of making, but another ruler in this realm. How many more can this realm take? Let us just agree to stay out of each other's way. This, my friends, is Grenth, the goat. Grenth is the god of death and ice, who oversees the harmony of the underworld. But he was not always so. Long before the Exodus, Grenth and his 7 heroes usurped control of the underworld from the overly zealous Doom, sealing the Master of Nothingness in the Hall of Judgment. With the underworld under his command, Grenth permitted the usage of resurrection magic and granted a special blessing to those who obeyed his commandments. Follow where I lead, come whence I call, and the rotted corpses of the dead will be yours to control. The banished Doom had recently broken free of containment, but was swiftly resealed due to the intervention of King Frozenwind, Ascended Champions, and Wei no Su. However, Glint's crude intrusion has caused tremendous upheaval within the realm of the gods. So this is Grenth. He is the patron deity of ice elementalists, dervishes, and necromancers. Yes, those were in the base Guild Wars game. Loved them. No surprise, I'm sure. And he leads the dark culture. He too is a keeper of knowledge and a prolific swarmer. He has the Arctic adaptation, Inner Frost, and Resilient. Again, very heavily focused with the ice. When he obtained his first follower, the ground, it was Desmia, I believe was her name. And basically she had been exiled for her grand ambitions. And she asked, where is the god that I can pledge my loyalty to? And like the whole ground froze over. And Grenth rose from the underworld and was like, yo, follow me. And you can command the undead. So yeah, all sorts of ice stuff. He himself is a reserved isolationist. He likes empires that do not start wars. He likes empires with few alliances. He dislikes empires that have defeated other empires. He dislikes empires with vassals, and his strategy is to isolate. He is wary of treaties he likes to exploit, and he likes to expand. He, of course, gets along with his fellow gods, vows that about, the underworld is his domain, is happy there. So that's what he is. Also, the shadow personalities are not... I don't really like them. There's reserve isolationists, and there's 2 types of spies. He wasn't a spy. Grenth was an upstanding god of the dead. Also, in case you're wondering whether all humans, they were humans? At least they're portrayed as humans. So, they aren't like Eldritch abominations or giants or dragons. Is this a custom or handcrafted realm here? Not realm, but... Oh! Rude! Domain. How dare you? Couldn't need a scout. How dare you? Alright, let's get a big battle. Just kidding. Crushing it. We can make one more road. One more road. Let's go, Glint. This must be something. Is this another? It is. Okay. Just trank pools galore. Oraculum has made its wall. Fantastic. We'll go up to tier 2. And I suppose you can pump out an observer since you are more draft. Knowledge. What do we want here? Probably this. I mean, mana is not a problem at all. Alright, we want some growth, I think, then. It's very important that we grow as fast as possible. Glint is probably going to just keep going down this train. Critting is good. I don't think we're going to be changing any stuff. We're probably just going to have a build up a horde, I think. We have 2 Phantasm Warriors already, but another will do. A free city has been vassalized. Okay. Just give me some grievances with Melandru, which I can probably forgive / exchange. Oh. Duena? I am the weakest. Duena wouldn't insult me. How dare you, game. How dare you. I'm realizing a mistake that I made. There is only one underground faction. From the outer skies above the realm, cosmic winds flagellate the world. Wherever they blow, vegetation is burned or sanded down. Rivers and lakes dry up. Not even the thickest wall or highest mountain can repel the currents. You are at the mercy of the fickle gales issued by the cosmos. You can only witness how your domain slowly erodes into a barren wasteland. Okay. I mean, with Warping Wilds, is this really not big of a deal? I don't know. Empire skill is available. I do like casting. I think we want knowledge extraction. I'm just trying to think of, am I going to want this Imperium for like a city? At this point, I'm half tempted to make this a city, but I think we're going to take over Rat Pike the violent way. But we're going to not be violent with them. You know? What's, I'll set you this way. Go on. Can I even check? You have the biggest head I've ever seen. Baron Rankoth, Dark Drake of the Free City Pitchvek, grace you with curiosity. There you go. Thanks for the vision. Okay. Are you in the literal middle of the map? You are. So I think it's safe to assume that me and all of the land characters have just spawned in this giant circle around the middle. Okay. Fair enough. I wonder if I'll be able to... I have a plan. So I think when teleporters come around, we make a deal with Melandru and just try and, like, yoink. You know? So Granth is... Oh, Granth was the one that took over Manafont. Okay. I've discovered the Meerkat crest, which of course is being utilized by Duena. She has a bloody city on top of it. Province adjacent landmark and +3 knowledge and +3 mana allows the construction of conduits, the elemental attunement combat enchantment. All elemental units gain elemental attunement till the end of combat. Cool. In a city with 3 provinces adjacent to this landmark, unlocks the recruitment of Litherine units and +10 world map casting points and +10 combat casting points. Duena? We might need to have some words. I know you're like... There wasn't really a head of the pantheon of the 5 gods, but Duena was the first one. And by the way, in the lore, there is a 6th god, the goddess of truth, Cormyr, which we actually helped create. However, We're not worried about her. That's all. I usually like to get the bathhouse as soon as possible for big stability boons and the fact that everything we produce after this has bonus XP. Yeah, sure, whatever. Do it. Mantra Purification is in. The combat healing spell of the gods will lock Empower Strikes and Grab Focus Aim. I have so much more mana than I'm used to. It's very nice. We'll have our Harrier rejoin the forces because you're kind of just vibing. Everything here will be cleared out. We'll get this workshop, and then we'll... Well, maybe we'll hold on the workshop. Good on here. Secure Rat Spike for our grand objective of the day. Seer Karina, Fate Weaver of the Free City Magitarium, is enthused about meeting you for the first time. Really? Well met. Well met indeed. Intimidate. So now we're at a patch of cooperation. If I stay on top of this, I should be able to just chain intimidate this. This is a human. Part of Lys's Watcher, okay. But you're not... Wait, what? Okay. So you're... Okay. She's part of Lys's culture, but she is not her vassal. Wonder how that came to be. Well, anyway. There's also a strat with the Reavers that's peculiar in that it's recommended to have vassals out in the world that just hate you, and that you should keep them alive in order to, you know, continuously send you war spoils. It looks like we are inside infestation territories. We are taking health damage, which is certainly something. I don't have war spoils for this. You have claimed the shifting stardust from the small monster den. The Eternal Sages have already noticed your success and communed with you from afar. You have done well, Crystal Queen. The emissary speaks to you monotonously. We may finally unveil what secrets the shifting stardust holds. Oh, it's binding essence, I don't care. Alright. Oh, that is unfortunate. You're gonna make me choose, and I'm gonna choose Engraving Focus. Virohan is going this way. We'll get Focus Aim. Wait, am I going down the same path, just they're on opposite sides of the tree? Kinda, yeah. Okay, fair enough. Rivalry between Duena and Melangeru. Ooh. The first Ontaria and the first of the goddesses. Ooh, hello. Yes. I mean, wait. I am kind of excited about this, and also kind of not. Whatever, it's fine. It'll do. It'll do, big, it'll do. Well, I gotta be honest. If you asked me who I thought my first opponent was going to be, Duena is not the choice I would have given you. I saw this red thing and I thought it was a person. And I wanted to meet them. But I was wrong. Pacification. Ooh, that's pretty good. But we're going to be grabbing... Oh, I grabbed that already. Nice. You know what? I think we will grab Pacification. Roadgore! If it wasn't so effective, I wouldn't do it. Oraculum is ready to expand. We have 2 foresters. Excuse me, 1 forester, 2 farms. which is good for most things. I'm going to need a quarry eventually, but... Alright, that'll do. Dragon Slayer can annex. I can't grab this yet, which is annoying. I have grabbed all of the nodes in my immediate proximity, however. We'll grab a farm. Focus Aim is ready. This is an enchantment for all of the ranged characters, which will give us True Strike. True Strike for this turn, making it so we cannot miss. Our supports, our battle mages, which we won't have, our skirmishers, and our archers. Range units. Think of it as an announcement that I, the twin goddess of beauty, Lissa, consider you an enemy. Huh. Alright. Okay. Wow, the first 5 people we meet are all of the gods. What are the chances of that? Oh, you hate me. So you are Crystal Queen Glint of the Forgotten. I am not impressed. Tread carefully before I decide that your realm is actually worth conquering. Everyone say hello to Daddy Balthazar. He leads Balthazar's challengers. Balthazar was the second god to arrive on Tyria, carrying the head of his father and sweeping through ore with a cleansing flame. His nigh cataclysmic arrival signaled a new age for the world, the age of man. Following his declaration of human supremacy, humanity swept through the world and swiftly established dominance. Balthazar's final action on Tyria was to create the chains that bound the defeated god Abaddon within the realm of torment. He now fights eternally within the Fissure of Woe, alongside those who follow his challenge. They who neither hesitate nor stumble shall be rewarded. Then you shall have glory. Then shall your deeds be remembered for eternity. So yeah, he leads the Oathsworn of Strife, which perfectly fits him to the T. They are Relentless Crusaders and Adept Settlers. The reason that Guild Wars is like 90% humans is because of this guy. Because of him. He is the god of fire, war, and challenge. So, in Guild Wars 2, again, whose lore I don't like, but in Guild Wars 2, when the gods left, Balthazar was the only one who didn't want to leave, and they imprisoned him, the other 5 gods, because they didn't want him to destroy the world accidentally or otherwise. It was dumb. If anyone actually plays Guild Wars 2, you can let me know about the lore, as it's gone off, but I don't know much about it. They killed Glint, and that made me sad. But, anyway, Balthazar's challengers are Desolate Adaptation, Strong, and Tough. I don't remember why I gave you Desolate Adaptation, actually. Oh, right, because the Fissure of Woe, which is one of the only realm of the gods we know the name of, is pretty much desolate. It's a huge, just... The Fissure of Woe is an apt name. It's more than just, a title. It is the exact definition of what it is. He fights his brother, Menzies, who wants to take him over, basically. As a militant warlord, he likes empires that are at war, he likes empires that start wars, he dislikes empires with a weaker military, and he dislikes empires with good relations with free cities. His strategy is that he is driven by war, he will never surrender, he likes to exterminate, and he likes to expand. Of all of the gods, this might be the perfect personality. Although Harmonious Sage is really good for Melanger, maybe not. Anyway, some of the personalities fit perfectly and some of them did not. His was one that fit perfectly. Maybe we sweep around and fight this seal for the grand finale of the day. Yeah, that's what we do. I'm really into that idea. I am amazed Grant likes me so much. I haven't been able to figure out why. Thanks for the free knowledge. Ah, the mage lock. Behold! Glory. One of the best sounding effects in RTS, honestly. I know that's a bold claim, but the mage lock gun, they nailed the sound effect. This was changed recently. Now, there are two attacks. There is the Snapshot Heavy Mage Lock, which is a single action. Just pew pew. Quickly fire the Heavy Mage Lock at the target with reduced accuracy. Effectiveness has 80% accuracy, 4 range, and it still has piercing, so it ignores 50% of the target's defense, and breaching ignores 50% of the target's resistance. And then the big attack, the Fire Heavy Mage Lock, is back, which is a 3 AP action with 100% accuracy and 5 range, which deals 34 damage instead of 22, and has the piercing and breaching. And of course, that damage is further multiplied by any stacks of marking on the target. So the idea is we melee something a bunch, and then we just delete it. And in the vein of deleting things, the Tome of Scrying. I know we had this in the Ragnaros playthrough, but Glint is a literal prophet. If anyone is going to scry, it's going to be her. And we're totally not just here for guided projectiles so that we can ignore all obscuration on our giant guns.
Awaken your mind's eye to gaze beyond the physical realm. Secrets near and far will reveal themselves, and the truly observant will even be able to peer into the immediate future. Your enemy's look of shock when you deftly sidestep their attack before they have even launched it is truly a sight to behold.
I'm trying to think if there is anything like a Watcher in Guild Wars. There was something called a Watcher, but I don't think it was anything like a floating eyeball of magic. Huh. Really? I actually consider you a friend, Glint. Perhaps Grenth's servants and the Forgotten can live together in harmony. Perhaps we can. Wow. Hey, you want to know about this bitch? Wow. Look at that. How are you feeling? Do you want to know about this bitch? Nice. Kind of feels weird calling them bitches. I loved the... Again, I called it mysticism earlier, but just like the very subtle, interwoven plot of the gods in Guild Wars was done so well. It wasn't like up in your face. If you wanted to ignore them, you totally could. I mean, there were statues for them and there were events about them, but there was only one god that you really got a face full of, and there's a good reason for it. Oathwarden Tammy Pledgeling of the Free City Redhill meets you with her weapon raised. Oh. A curse on this day on which you set foot in our lands, Glint Ook. Oh. The Oathwarden spits out. I hereby swear I will destroy you when you're forgotten. Oh. Okay. I like your flower. Your silver tongue fruit. Where's my stone? Oh. Okay. I need more war spoils. I don't remember if there's a way to get income of war spoils. I don't think there is. I think it's just fight more things. That's all we're working with. Let's see where my scouts are. Where are they at? So we have one who's way over here. Okay. Just found another seal. A lot of lava stuff going on down here. Fair, fair. One over here. Who has met the spine-chilling Duskwatch. Baroness Tercia Nemesis of the Free City Duskwatch. Should we find some common ground? Oh, Balthazar's at war with you. That's either a really good thing or a really bad thing. Oh. I saw something. Is this Balthazar? Oh, it is. You are in the dead corner. Okay. Alright. Can I make it to this fight? Might be able to. Ah, I can. Alright. Let's do all this stuff first. Mental Mark, by the way, is exceptional with Reavers as well. So, I didn't only come here for guided projectiles. But that was a significant, you know, contributor to my logic here. Trying to go to where I think I'll find people. Wow, Balthazar. Okay, so there's the Fisher of Woe. I misspelled it in his description, but I spelled it correctly in his city, which is nice. You... going this way. I was really it would have been really convenient if I went, there's only one god you really saw. And there was a good reason for it. You met. Okay, well, never mind. There's a Labyrinth of Illusion. We'll find him next time. Let us finish today off with our first seal battle. As you can see, this is defended by some pretty scary things, including the Progenitor Golem, and there is the Fortress of Vines. Find units drafted from the city or summoned within the city's domain grant rank. Enemies in the domain have their maximum points reduced. Spawn to live by action each turn. That's annoying. And we have blinding sense from the Cosmic Happening. Alright. I should have seen how the AI did and then retried it, but that's okay. We'll go in ourselves. So our end game unit, I was looking through, you know, flipping through the things. The Age of Wonders 4 database is an exceptional website. Big props to whoever maintains that. You're the GOAT. But I was flipping it through. I'm like, what is going to be my end game? My end game unit? Thankfully, I know the answer. And it plays very well into all this skirmishing side stuff we'll be picking up, which is nice. But we are a pure, not pure, but we will be doing rainbow stuff. Rainbow, of course, means we'll be grabbing from all sorts of from all sorts of different tomes. And of course, I explained a little bit earlier. I thought this was an AoE. Okay, remove to king. I mean, a little bit earlier, but this is so good. Too good, in fact. Because of the whole facets of the gods, we'll be, you know, grabbing stuff from everywhere. All sorts of places. I would love... Okay. Immobilized, frozen, or stunned. You are marked and blinded. Okay. Ooh. Sure. I think there's anyone I need to heal right now. Eat. Please be immobilized. Nice. You know... Oh, you only have 1 health. If that's immobilized, maybe... we can capture this. Oh, it's weakened, not immobilized. Never mind. Not nice. just can go this way. Then we'll have our mercenaries coming from the rear. In the rear with the gear. We can take a 75. No, we need to reposition. So move up a little bit. Take a snapshot. Raise it anyway. Nice. Alright. We're all blinded. Little Corvid. Get bonked. Going Materium, by the way, at tier 4. Did I do that? No, I went Astral. If I got Materium, I would have 50% bonus opportunity attacks, which was something I heavily considered for that very reason. But not always the way it's going to be, yeah. I would love to go back here and start beating this thing. But I've marked this. And I think we're going to give it a big old pop in the face. By in the face, I mean in the rear. Listen to the sound of my voice block the sound of the mage lock. Wow, who would have guessed that fleet foot is pretty good? What do you mean I can ignore poor positioning and just walk through everything? Wow. I froze it. I froze it! Oh, I can't get close enough. Well, it's mythic anyway, right? This thing. Yeah. The, I believe the only way to obtain such a foul creature, such an abomination as the Progenitor Golem, is through an event, Ancient Wonder. And I believe it is only a summon, so. Not even that good to begin with. Wow. Debunked. Alright. Let's go fisticuffs. Punk. Can't even kill that. You're useless. Useless. I'm trying to mark this. It's not going well. Alright, fine. This is why we need designate target. I don't think I'm going to go for the +1 range. I'd like to, but I don't think I'm going to. That's also very helpful, you know? Okay. I'll listen pretty well. We got a good summon, which is always nice. And that secures the seal. Provides +1 point to the seal's victory every turn for the Empire that has units standing on the seal. So, I'm in first place. Look at that. What we can do is we can leave just one random old unit sitting on it, which is what we will do. But every turn or so, or not every turn, but every, what is it? Is it 5 turns or 3 turns? An independent army will spawn to try and take it back. And they'll come not just with the army, but also with an effect. And some of them are very annoying. As long as you have an army on the seal, you will earn points towards a seal victory. Beware, for the Guardians of the Seal will attempt to reclaim it. Yes, I believe you also get negative points of people. Grudge due to grievances. What grudge? Ah. Yeah, you get negative points people for capturing seals, so is it a good idea to do it early? Maybe not, but do remember, once you obtain a seal point, it can never be taken away from you. You've got that. It's in your pockets. The Reaver Manufactorum is always nice. So, if you build so much early, it gives you more breathing room for later when things are a little bit hectic. Or, I suppose in our case, they're going to be a lot hectic. Knowledge is always good. Love me some knowledge. Not a great idea to queue stuff up, but you're going to need some... You're going to need all of that. Eventually. A 3-turn monk, I'll take that too. And a hero. Anyone see any rangers? There's one. It's a goat. Aha! Aha! Oh, no! Is it even possible? Of all the bloody governors to roll, I guess we make a city over here. Somebody's already on top of that. Okay, well. Remember I said you don't queue things up? So we have a governor that I like, and a governor that I hate. That's fair. I also have a few characters optional from the Pantheon, but, you know, that's a lot of Imperium. I've only selected Kasesik, a fellow Naga Serpent, and Shalasa, a fellow Dragon of Good Dewiness. Do-goodiness. Really? Am I really about to get Antonok the Keen-Eyed for this governor trait that is so useless? And the one's like goats. That's an arcane governor. Infinitely more useful, but it's a goat. We'll take it. Because I have the Vengeful Demon's Bane for you. And it fits our, you know, our comp very well. You're not getting anything from me. Not from my horde. Forger for sure. And what else do we want? Snapshot's really good for what he's doing, because then we can cancel defense mode. Exceptional. Astral, lightning, done. Join the team. We'll get an army going for him soon too. Friendship between Dwayna and Lisa. I hate to see that. We have the Pact of Loyalty with Pikvek, which is nice. Remember, as the Keepers of Knowledge, we gain a bunch of benefits for this, so that's cool. I don't have any Spoils of War, which is not cool. We're kind of close to another stone. Kind of. Good, a diplomatic approach will assure victory. I hope that we may both profit from your relation with Pitchvek. Pitchvek? I hope so too. He's never going to want to bond with me now. Now that I've captured a seal. But the ticker has begun. As has our journey in the realm of the gods. There are 3 more characters to meet. And they're all very spicy. So thank you all for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. Thank you to the patrons and the Channel Sports Channel. I greatly appreciate you. If you would like to map channel, feel free to join the Discord description down below. And I will see you next time as we look for our spicy friends? Probably not.